media or TuneIn apps. Just search for KDAWN in Las Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Yes, the voice is pretty much back. I ain't dead yet. Working on it, though, apparently. But very happy to have you with us on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. It is the talk of Las Vegas. Man, we are going to bring you the best in pro wrestling today. And, you know, it sucks when you have a game plan ready to go. You got a whole list of topics like, here's where we're going to go. Here's where we're going to go. And then all hell breaks loose. It is just amazing what happens in the world of pro wrestling sometimes. There's some shocking news out of WWE, and we're going to get to it and a whole lot more. Let's bring in the boys. First, the coaching legend, state champ. He's sort of handsome. Not really.
Very handsome. Very handsome.
All right. Sunny Slope Basketball. There's the shirt on the live stream. Coach Rosey is here. What's up, Coach?
It's a beautiful Sunday morning. WrestleMania is over, and we got a clear path on. Maybe it's not clear, but we have a path that we see going towards SummerSlam, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. AEW is catching up too.
Oh man, and like I said, we got some stunning news out of WWE too. Okay, now before I bring this next guy on, those of you that are on the live stream on our socials on X, Facebook, and YouTube. For some reason, in our private discussions we had before the shows, Coach Rosey said, I am only coming on today if Eric Hay will be shirtless. The Haymaker for the moment, and I'm sure he'll be putting a shirt on very shortly. I pray to God. Eric
Please
Hay,
do.
the Haymaker is not wearing a shirt. Dear God.
I was being facetious, but you're a man of your word, Haymaker. I cannot look at the screen, but hey,
it's horrifying.
Yeah,
you have to honor Coach's wishes.
I appreciate that.
No, you don't listen to Coach. Nobody listens to Coach. His wife doesn't listen to him.
That's true.
Oh my God.
He's the coach. So he's the coach, so you have to.
Oh, all right. Well,
I'll put a shirt on. I promise.
I know. But good run, Eric. Way to go.
Good man.
Oh, it is pro wrestling, everybody. It just never ends. And very special late addition to the show, by the way. And I got to tell you, we get some pretty big dogs on this show. I mean, big names in the world of pro wrestling and media. And we got another one today, as we're going to be joined by Ryan Gatos, who is the head of digital over at Fox News, which, that's pretty cool. He does digital all the sports. So he handles everything sports that you see on the Fox News website. So very excited to have him on the show from Fox News Sports and Outkick. That's going to be awesome. So hour 2, get ready.
It was a pleasure meeting him at WrestleMania.
Yeah, great guy, and loves, it's when you have the guys that have to cover all the sports and stuff, when they actually like pro wrestling, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So thrilled to have him joining us in hour number 2 on the show. That is going to be amazing. Oh, and by the way, Keith Morrison, Coach Keith Morrison in the chat box already firing off. This coach asks if you put your shirt back on. There you go.
He's a football coach. He'll make you do bear crawls and there's
burpees.
Burpees and all that. So let's get it back on for an honor of coach.
Let's get it on for the sanity of our audience out there. Sorry, guys. I'm still coughing up gunk. If you heard the show last week, I sounded horrible. I'll just admit it right now. But wow, we started off the week, having a little fun. Monday Night Raw, Joe Hendry shows up, Logan Paul, yay. And then all of a sudden, some news started trickling out of WWE. We got JC Mateo and Tongaloa were let go. And, of course, JC Mateo used to be known as Cobb and, just great wrestler. But they gave him one of the worst gimmicks I've ever seen. And Tongaloa, of course, one half of the Guerrillas of Destiny. And this was after they all took this weird beat down from Jacob Fatu as he wiped out the whole MJF stable this last week. And two of them are now gone. But then we wake up this morning, guys, and see the news. The New Day was asked to restructure their contracts. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. They refused, and they are out of WWE. I struggle to find the words on this, guys. I mean, look, I get there's business decisions, and you want to maximize your profitability if you're TKO, makes sense. But to lose those two guys, I am just stunned that they allowed that to happen. Let me give you guys first shots at your thoughts on this, and then I'm going to kind of mention a few thoughts about the New Day being in WWE. But, Coach, let me hit you with this first. Wow, New Day out?
Not really. TKO is trying to save money, and Kofi and Xavier are thinking that they can still be top of the card tag teams. You know what? They can, but not in WWE. Their tag team division is not as strong and not as nostalgia based as a lot of the other divisions. You put them into TNA, get them in a program with the Hardys. You put them in AEW, get them into a program with the Young Bucks or FTR or Copeland and Christian. You're printing money. They couldn't print money anymore in WWE. They tried to put them in singles. They tried to split them up. They tried to, put different spins on their story. But people want that New Day tag team experience, and they can get that now when they go out and test the waters of other organizations.
Yeah. Eric, your thoughts on saying goodbye to the New Day in WWE?
Well, I was shocked when I woke up yesterday and I saw the news. I was not expecting that at all. I thought they would both be lifers with the company, especially Kofi. But at the same time, they've done how much for WWE, and they got shown no loyalty whatsoever. And I agree with Coach. They can go to TNA, we're the greatest tag team feud with the Hardys. Go to AEW, put on some great matches. They had this great opportunity with them after they turned heel on Big E and did nothing.
They blew that. They blew that whole thing. Yeah, you hit a sore subject with me on that, Eric. But
they did. It's true. They had this golden opportunity, and they just never went anywhere with it at all.
That is one of the biggest mistakes I think WWE has made recently was how they handled that. I mean, that had such a ton of potential, even if Big E couldn't get in the ring, to lose out on that and just let that fizzle was an unforgivable mistake. And actually, Javon Campbell in the chat box, by the way, firing off on this. Javon Campbell, E357. New Day sucked after splitting with Big E. I always thought that was stupid. Look, I get the idea of the split. I get it. I mean, Big E was out, and they can't, and you came up with an idea, and uh, I, I, like I said, I am just still stunned at this, and more so because look, there's more to uh, being a part of a pro wrestling organization's roster than just the stuff you do in the ring too. Those guys were locker room leaders. A lot of people counted on them for their advice, their counsel to help keep things running well back there. And I'll tell two stories real quick about how important the New Day were to WWE. First, on a personal one, my daughter, when we went to Money in the Bank, that was 2015. She was a big John Cena guy, but she also really liked the New Day a lot. And they appealed to kids. Kids loved them to death. The only other thing, and then a couple of T-shirts I've ever bought at a WWE event was that stupid. Oh, I hate you guys for making that lit up unicorn horn. The thing that everybody thought was going to be so stupid, but the kids cared about them. And the other impact that they had that I don't think TKO realizes is how much they meant to the African American community. I was at the SmackDown. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but the SmackDown where Bayley destroyed her wacky inflatable tube guys. You guys remember that?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I was sitting behind a black family, a couple young kids. When the New Day came out that day, you should have seen the looks on their faces. How happy they were, how much they loved those guys. They mean so much to the black community. I'm not the biggest representation guy, but I do think it's good to have role models. And the black community loved them so much. And they're all three of them just terrific guys. And to see them throw them out like this and just say, we don't need you. They have no idea what they're losing with them. And are there other black performers? Finally, yes. We finally got a few up there with Obafemi coming up and Trick and Carmelo. I know I'm forgetting a couple others, but these two are such great ambassadors outside of the wrestling ring. Man, to let them slip away, I think, is a terrible mistake by WWE. Now, for what you guys were saying about TNA, TNA is WWE light. We all know it. They're not going.
Watch it, pal.
They're under. WWE's basically got TNA under their control. They're not going to do anything without WWE's permission. They're going to AEW. And Coach, I think you are absolutely right on that. I put up a post when I'm like, you could have at All In, and picture this, guys. FTR, Cope and Christian, Young Bucks, Motor City Machine Guns, because they're going to end up in WWE. There's no reason for them to go back to TNA. And the New Day in a ladder match or something along that lines at All In. Coach, you're right. They're printing money, and then, like I say, it's not just what's going to happen in the ring, but it's what's going to happen outside the ring. And if they go to Tony Khan, they should be able to write a number on a piece of paper, and Tony should go, Yep, you're in, fellas. That's how I feel about this. I think this is just a bad move by WWE. Coach,
just imagine when they go out on the autograph circuit. If Matt and Jeff can get $200 for a meet and greet, imagine if Big E is there, and the three of them, they pick different events so they don't saturate themselves. Again, the opportunity to print money, the opportunity to save their bodies. The other two guys, Kofi and Xavier, they've been in the ring for over 20 years. At AEW, you're wrestling very few dates, a lot more promos than wrestling. So they're preserving their body. They're not going to have to do all the WWE junket, like you said, of being a good ambassador, which I know they love. They love their fans and everything. But at this point in your career, you want to kind of settle down and have some security where you're not in the ring every single week. And that's what this move is. This was mutual, because if it wasn't mutual, I think people would have said something. There would have been some posts involved. There would have been maybe some statements from the guys. But WWE just doesn't mutually let people out of contracts if they didn't think that they can still help their organization. So kudos to TKO and WWE for releasing them, because they have served WWE and the WWE universe tremendously for years and years and years. They're going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. They're definitely on, in my opinion, the Mount Rushmore of WWE tag teams.
Absolutely.
So their time has come. They need a new coat of paint, and it'll be coming very soon.
Yeah, and look, and I think, and Eric, it does present a very interesting situation for Big E too. Look, he's got a job there probably as long as he wants it. But I would say this about Big E. He's probably got to be sitting there saying, first, you got to be kidding me. These are two of my best friends and they're out. But Big E is, all three of them are very charismatic. They're very talented. But Big E's got to be wondering what he should do out of this. Does he decide to maybe follow them, or does he say, you know what, maybe it's time for me to leave WWE and do something else? I would guarantee you that ESPN, Fox Sports, anybody would love to have Big E on their team. I guarantee it. He is a very special individual, and I think it does present a very interesting issue for him too.
No, it does, and I'm very, very curious to see what he says next Saturday during the Backlash PLE pre-show, if it's even mentioned. I would hope that they will allow him some time to speak on this.
Yeah, this is stunning. And by the way, if you think this is where it all ends with these two guys out, oh wait, kids, there's more. There's a big dog that ain't too happy either. We're going to come back and talk about that. Coach Rosey, the Haymaker, Eric. Hey, I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. And Eric put the shirt on. We're all good. Stick around. We've got a whole lot more. Plus, Ryan Gatos from Fox News Digital and Outkick Sports going to be joining this hour too. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
At Meineke, we believe taking care of those who take care of all of us matters. That's why veterans, first responders, nurses, and teachers receive 10% off any service, up to $100. From brakes and tires to engine repairs and oil changes, our certified technicians get you back on the road with care you can trust. Every visit includes a free digital e-inspection with photos and videos, so you know what your car needs before any work is done. Schedule today at Meineke.com.
That's my boy.
Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
By July of 2025, nearly all Nevada employers will be required to offer a retirement plan to all employees. As a business, how do you even start? Just call the Vegas Chamber to get plugged into the Chamber's 401k plan. It's simple to administer, provides great options, and will quickly help your business meet Nevada's new retirement plan mandate. Visit vegaschamber.com to get plugged in.
Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Need to sell your house fast? Whether you're facing foreclosure, stuck with bad tenants, or just ready for a fresh start, House Buyer Network can help. We buy homes as is for cash. No fees, no commissions, no repairs. Get a fair cash offer in just 24 hours and close in as little as 7 days. Call 833-719-5877 now for your free no-obligation offer. That's 833-719-5877. House Buyer Network. Fast cash, no hassle.
Offers are typically below market value in exchange for speed and convenience. Call for details.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Turns out, talk isn't cheap. Just talking about affordability doesn't make things affordable. Straight Talk's had the same price since 2009. Plus, their Gold plan includes a Walmart Plus membership and $20 in Walmart cash when you activate. That's more than just talk.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straightforward, always. Valid through May 17, 2026. $20 in Walmart cash for Straight Talk Gold or Platinum plan customers newly enrolling in Walmart Plus. Limit 1 per enrollment and account. Same price claim applies only to base monthly price of the $45 Straight Talk plan, beginning October 2009.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we're back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. It's having an unbelievable time today. News, and it's most of it outside the ring. And Coach, I appreciate you mentioning this real quick. Hit me with what you wanted to hit us with.
It's a sad day in wrestling when someone that is so caring, so loving, so humble, and so kind to people in the industry gets stricken with an illness. And after 2 years, and trust me, I know what's going on. Rebel had a show on Ad-Free Shows where she met with guys like Coach Keith and I every Sunday for an hour. We called it happy hour every Sunday for about 4 years, from 3 to 4 in the afternoon on Sunday. Rebel, Corey Ryan Forrester, and about 10 or 15 guys from Ad-Free Shows just sit and kicked it with Rebel every Sunday. And we got to know her spirit and got to know her heart. And after 2 years of trying to figure out what the diagnosis was, they thought she had cancer. They thought she had pneumonia. They thought she had a cyst on her lungs. The Mayo Clinic has finally determined that Rebel has ALS.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
ALS is, all sicknesses and ailments and diseases are horrible, but this is one that is one of the most painful existences you can have in the last years of your life. And to have someone who is so loving and caring be stricken with this has affected a lot of people in the business. You saw Tony Schiavone on Collision last night throw some words up for Rebel, and I know that a lot of wrestlers and social media has as well. Even People Magazine has picked up the story because Rebel inspires people. And even though the prognosis looks grim, she's got a lot of people on her side. Whether you're a praying person or just someone that thinks positive things about people, throw some up for Rebel, because miracles can happen. And we hope that Rebel, especially I know I speak for Coach Keith and many others, that Rebel, we're praying for you. We love you. And we're there for you at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, she is one of the good people in wrestling, and the hell that she's gone through the last couple of years. We wish her all the best. And look, ALS is something that is incredibly hard to deal with. But I think, like you said, Coach, I think there's a lot of good people who are going to be in her corner. And we'll all be praying for her. So, on behalf of the team, Rebel, we love you, sweetheart, and we hope everything goes well. All right. Let's get back to some of the other news of the day, because this contract dispute that the New Day got in, well, apparently they're not the only ones, because no grave is being left spared here. Roman Reigns was apparently asked to take a reduction on his contract as well. He's now not booked for any matches appearances he was supposed to do in June. Per, I believe it was E-Wrestling News, if I'm correct. They went to Roman Reigns, the guy leading the way, and look, love Cody Rhodes, but Roman is the number one guy in WWE. And to go and tell him, hey, you know what? We need you to take a pay cut, big dog. Oh, man. Eric, that couldn't have gone well. It couldn't have.
Not at all. I was shocked. I thought he had just signed a new contract where he had 40 appearances a year. I heard it was $10 million a year for 3 years, 40 appearances per year.
That is amazing. Coach, look, once again, we know it's a business, but that takes some chutzpah to go to your number one guy and say, yeah, you know what? We're going to treat this like the NFL, man. We need you to take a pay cut after they've made all this money this year. Coach, that doesn't seem right.
It's all about the bottom line, unfortunately, like you said. And who knows what TKO is planning to do with WWE. Maybe they are trying to create contracts and budgets that make purchasing WWE a little bit more desirable. Maybe for someone like Tony Khan, or dare I say it, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. You never know with this professional wrestling business what it could bring. I mean, TK made a bid in the last round, and he purposely did not, and it wasn't released what his bid was, but he tried to buy WWE. And when Tony Khan and Shad Khan want something, they usually get it. So making it more desirable to buy looks good. I don't know if Roman, how he reacted to that. Maybe they know that he's a team player. You know, when the captain of the team sees that there's an issue, sometimes they do take a cut in pay, but I don't think they need to take a cut in pay. I mean, what's the difference between $7 billion and $6.5 billion? You know, it's still billions. But to investors, it's all about that quarterly meeting, the quarterly reports that they send out, and dropping some budget, dropping some wages makes things look a little bit better. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
The tactic of trying to cut that bottom line when it doesn't seem like you really need to, you are correct, Coach. That usually means that they are setting up for a sale at some point. And by the way, just so you know, Tony actually did release how much he bid for WWE.
We did.
Yeah, he said he bid $6.9 million early 2023. The final sale price was $8.5 billion to Endeavor. But Coach, I do think that you're onto something there. And I was thinking about that this morning, that who would be the ones that could buy WWE? Well, we have the Saudi investment groups over there, and that rumor's been flying around forever. But yeah, could they possibly sell to Vince McMahon? Would Tony Khan be willing to step in and try to take over WWE if Endeavor or TKO decides that they're going to sell it? That wouldn't shock me in the least. And I'll just say this, and this is not a slam to everybody or TKO. They are incredible businessmen over there. They really are. You've got Shapiro and Nick Khan and all those guys. They know what they're doing in the world of business. But if the purpose was buy this, build it up, and then sell it as an asset, great. But if I'm looking at who would I want to put in charge of the future of pro wrestling, would it be TKO or would it be Tony Khan? You only asked me that question twice, and I'm going to take 1 second to think about it. Tony Khan. Tony loves professional wrestling. That guy just thinks the industry is the best thing ever. He is a walking encyclopedia of pro wrestling. Overall, not going to say everybody's gotten treated well in AEW, but overall he treats his employees really well too. He really does. I just see some writing on the wall here that something's up. It has to be. And this Roman Reigns thing, Eric, also kind of makes you think, well, who else could be in a little bit of trouble here? We've talked about this a while back on the show, guys, that all these young guns that are coming up from from NXT into WWE, those veterans, should be looking over their shoulder a little bit. It's not just, okay, there's potential people here to take my spot, but my company is now asking veterans to take pay cuts too. If I'm somebody like a Bailey, maybe an LA Knight, a Natty, and that list goes on and on. Sheamus, so many of these other guys have been there forever. Manny, I am thinking, I might have to dust my resume off and call the agent.
Maybe.
I mean, Roman's the top dog. It doesn't go higher than him. They're going to approach Cody. I mean, I was at WWE World on Friday. All these people that were there that I saw, not on the card. No Sheamus. No this person. No that person. How long before these guys have been there? 20 years or, oh, well, I'm going to pay you pennies in their world, and they'll be gone.
Yeah, I think when you look at some of the people that are coming up, Coach, let me throw a few names out here. Okay, we'll get my list. So Joe Hendry's up. We've watched what's happened with Fatal Influence. Just got a big victory for JC Jane over Charlotte on SmackDown, and they put her right in the ring with Rhea Ripley the first night they were up there. You've got a Sol Roca coming up. Is that your next Charlotte Flair? And, do we need Charlotte Flair if we've got her? Do we need, say, a Rhea Ripley if we have a JC Jane? Blake Monroe's coming up. You have the guys like Trick Williams who are sliding in now. Obafemi is your new Brock Lesnar. No question about that. The guard's changing, Coach. And they're going to have some people that they're not going to have to pay anywhere near as much money than some of these other guys if time goes on. I mean, could Cody even be in trouble at this point?
No, I don't think Cody can be in trouble. But I can tell you that we've seen this in wrestling because it's cyclical. We've seen the heroes that we've loved and that we were raised with sometimes exit the business in a grand way. And some of them just kind of exit the business. WWE needs a new coat of paint. As much as I love Charlotte and I love a lot of those acts that have been there, Rhea and all that, they need something for the newer fans to get in love with. Because we fell in love with a lot of the people that you stated, but we saw them in their prime. Now you're starting to see them in a different capacity, and it's just not as exciting for the average wrestling fan. It is for us because we always get, nostalgic on Charlotte and how she was in NXT and her ascension. But there's younger wrestlers that can command the ring just as well. So we've seen it, and we're going to continue to see it through the evolution of wrestling. And this business is changing. That's why I really would enjoy Tony Khan taking over WWE, because he puts the fans first. He treats the wrestlers like humans. Not that he looks up to them or glazes them in any way, but he knows their significance to the common wrestling fan that has been there for years and years and years. He can make an environment that, with vignettes, with different programs. He can get stuff on HBO Max. He's been talking to Paramount. There's a lot of opportunities for those wrestlers that are starting to transition out of the ring. So for me, I'd like to see him come, but I am excited for the future. Trick Williams is tremendous. Soroka's tremendous. What those 3 women did from NXT coming in and just laying house, tremendous. Oba, tremendous. But we need somebody for somewhere for our legends to not fall, but to land gracefully and have their opportunity to shine and be there for their fans.
Yeah, and right now, Tony's the leading spot to land with AEW. But Eric and like I said, I'm not putting down TNA. I don't want anybody to think that I am, but the agreement that they signed with WWE basically makes a big circle for everybody. If you go to TNA, let's say a Nikki Cross signs with TNA. There's rumors that that they're interested in bringing the Wyatt 6 guys into TNA. Well, if they get their acts going again, let's say Nikki gets on a roll, and everybody falls in love with her again, like she did when she first came up. Well, then WWE is just going to grab her, and they're going to put her on her programming, and it's just going to go in a big, big circle. And I just don't know if you get released from WWE, if that's what you really want, to get put on a hamster wheel like that.
Our boy Javon. Oh, sorry about that, Haymaker. But our boy Javon has a very interesting comment in there that I think has a lot of credence. It came out this week that they are using AI to storyline stuff, to book stuff, so on and so forth. And AI doesn't have the emotion of the wrestler's heart. It doesn't even have a heart. So how can the AI create things? Because they're just going to create things from a different perspective and not from the wrestler's perspective. So that was a great point, Javon, that they're utilizing AI to make some decisions about creative. And, that's not the way we do our business. I
was saving that because it's a topic we've got coming up in a little bit. But Eric, like I said, back to you, is going to TNA really worth it for somebody who gets released from WWE just to get put back in the circle?
Initially, no, because like you said, you're in that circle and you go there, all of a sudden you skyrocket. They're taking you back, and going back might not be the best thing in the world because you're hot and in TNA. Let's bring you back to WWE, and
you get the same old stuff.
You're on for 5 minutes, then you're hanging out in creative, appearing once in a blue moon.
Yeah, it's a tricky spot for everybody. So then do you go to AEW? And I'll say this, if I'm like MLW, and I know NWA just signed a contract, and I forget, unfortunately, I don't think I have it written down what network they signed on with, but they're going to be nationally televised as well. So, but not like an AMC, but a streaming outlet. Man, if I'm MLW or I'm NWA, I'm thinking maybe I'm going to start spending some money. I might, because the writing's on the wall. There's going to be some really big names that are going to be leaving WWE pretty soon. Just a hunch. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, it was funny. I want to talk about that AI stuff. A couple other things as well. Ryan Gatiss from Fox News Digital and Outkick is going to be joining us hour number 2. He broke this story a little earlier today too. I think it was just about an hour ago he wrote it. So we've got a whole lot more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll be right back.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a pregnancy risk assessment monitoring system survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message, sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
With love, I will build a wonderful thing that makes this life better for you and for me.
Shriners Hospitals for Children has been creating wonderful opportunities for children in need. This life-changing medical care helps them do the things they've always dreamed of. To find out more, go to loveshriners.org.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Turns out, talk isn't cheap. Just talking about affordability doesn't make things affordable. Straight Talk's had the same price since 2009. Plus, their Gold plan includes a Walmart Plus membership and $20 in Walmart cash when you activate. That's more than just talk.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straightforward, always. Valid through May 17, 2026. $20 in Walmart cash for Straight Talk Gold or Platinum plan customers newly enrolling in Walmart Plus. Limit 1 per enrollment and account. Same price claim applies only to base monthly price of the $45 Straight Talk plan, beginning October 2009.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. $4, $6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Yes, by the way, we are one of Google's greatest pro wrestling radio shows on the planet. It was pretty cool. I was doing some searching, and their AI said that, well, we got Busted Open Radio, and then we got the Mark Hoke Show, which I got to thank guys like Coach Rosey and Eric for helping making this show great. And all of you out there, and so many people that have come on the show, made contributions to the show, with the exception of one or two loser bums. Thank you. Really do appreciate that, because you don't make that AI listing if you're not doing your job. So thanks, everybody. Really means a lot. Some other WWE news popped up, and I'm curious to get your guys' reaction to this. I want to make sure we save some stuff for Ryan Gatos coming up from Fox News Digital and Outkick when in hour number 2. But NXT had to cancel a live show up in Lowell Memorial Auditorium. They only sold like 1,000 tickets. They canceled an NXT show, but on NXT's good side, I guess, for them, their premium, they've done a deal with CW to put their premium live events on the ESPN streaming service, same place where you have to watch WrestleMania and all the WWE PLEs. So we got a show that didn't sell, but we're going to ESPN, Eric, with NXT. Are you happy, sad, angry?
What do you mean? I don't know how. I'm not sure how big of an audience they would have in Lowell, Massachusetts, but I think that they're getting more eyes on the product, which is always a good thing. It really is.
Coach is hanging out in the cityscape there.
Yeah.
On the live stream. That looks great, by the way, Coach.
Thank you.
What do you think of this NXT move to with CW taking the premium live events onto ESPN now? So you're paying.
Yeah. Again, you're just getting more evidence. If it's developmental, I think you'd want more eyes on the program than restricting it behind a paywall or some type of service. I thought you'd want to have the world being able to see these events live, and for people to be able to fall in love with some new characters and to fall in and create allegiances to some of these wrestlers as they continue to ascend. I mean, I love Ricky Starks, and when I saw him in the ring on SmackDown, I popped huge. He finally made it, and that's what NXT does for people. It gives them someone to latch onto. So to be able to put it on ESPN, you're just restricting the eyes watching the program.
Yeah, and that the money keeps talking with TKO, and there was another situation. They fired a 25-year TV producer, Gavin O'Shea, was let go this week. And, that may not seem like a big deal. You may, well, who cares about a producer that got fired? Guy was there 25 years, guys. 25 years.
Yep. Just like Dusty said, they'll give you a watch and kick you in the butt, and a computer took your job, Daddy.
That is a good way to put it, Coach. God, you're a brilliant man when you try.
Hey, in 1982, it worked, and it's come back in 2026. A computer took your job, Daddy.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. And let me see, just running down the some of the other WWE news. I'm saving the WrestleMania stuff for next hour with Ryan, so just so everybody knows. And yes, I'm aware what is going on there. Stephanie Vaquer is going to be out. Grade 2 sprain in her AC joint, which is in your shoulder. So, Coach, you know all about that, man. And you get that AC joint screwed up, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, if you can't raise your arms or even just use them to bear weight, what good are you in the ring, especially when you're a high flyer and you do as many exciting moves as she does.
Yeah, so she's they're hoping she's going to be back by SummerSlam. One interesting situation, Eric, I'm going to give you this. I'll give you a shot to pick the new name for Evil, because when he debuted this week, they did not say his name. They want to change it, but they haven't come up with a new name yet. What should Evil's new name be, Eric? You got it. Have you been thinking about this? Has this been rolling around in your brain all week? Because we don't know what to call the man.
Well, if you notice, when he came out to confront Tony, the fans knew who he was.
Oh, yeah.
They were chanting Evil.
Why don't they just leave it Evil? I don't know if there's maybe in Japan, maybe there's a copyright or something. I don't know, trademark.
I don't know if he owns the IP or not, but I would play off of the Evil in some way. Not sure exactly how yet, but play off of it.
I'm still surprised that they debuted him without a name. That deal must come together pretty quickly on that. Coach, what did you think of Nick Khan saying that the internet community is a vocal minority in a town hall this week with WWE employees, and they don't care what those people think? Is that at their own risk, or is he dismissing that too much? I mean, I know the IWC gets a little crazy sometimes, but don't they have legitimate points? I mean, these are the people that actually care enough about your product to voice an opinion.
Yeah, but as I've been traveling the roads with different people and learning about how they view the internet wrestling community, it really is a small minority. In the grand scheme of things, it's maybe makes up 5 or 10% of the paying audience. So for them, if you anger or make happy the 5 or 10%, that's not going to affect your bottom line. And even if you do anger them, the internet wrestling community is going to come out in full force and comment on it and bring eyes to the product. The internet wrestling community is either going to be on your side or not, but they're always going to post, and they're always going to have their 2 minutes of fame, whether it's some guy with cousin Joe 247626 or somebody like me or you or the Haymaker. A lot of them are bots. A lot of them have an opinion, but a lot of them don't spend a lot of money.
Good point.
And that 90% spend a lot of money, and that's who they're going to care about.
We should get some bots. Maybe that's what we should do. We should get a bunch of bots. Just flood the internet. Could you imagine where we'd be at on SEOs and stuff? I mean, I'm already at the top. Do you imagine what would happen? Busted Open might not be happy. And by the way, thanks, Coach Keith Morrison, mentioning Comet TV is the NWA new home. All right, when we come back, Ryan Gatos from Fox News Digital, Outkick. He is the man who heads all the sports coverage up on Fox News Digital, and huge wrestling guy. We got to meet him at WrestleMania. That's going to be a lot of fun coming back in hour number 2. Hey, give us a follow on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, The Mark Hoke Show. And I promise you, now that I'm not sick anymore, we'll start getting all those clips back up for you this week and have a great time doing it. Stick around, everybody. We got a whole lot more on The Mark Hoke Show coming up. Eric K., Coach Rosey, Ryan Gatos join us. We'll be right back.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Looking for a great real estate agent? Someone who can help you sell your home fast and for top dollar? Go to ready.com, REDY.com. Because on Ready, agents will pay you just for the opportunity to sell your home. Yeah, on Ready, agents will pay you for your listing. Thousands of dollars up front just for a chance to sell your home. And it's easy. Just go to ready.com, enter your address, and when you want to sell. In just 48 hours, the best local agents are competing on Ready to be your agent with cash offers up front just to win your business. Hey, your listing is valuable. Don't give it away. Make those agents earn it. Get paid to pick your real estate agent. Go to ready.com or call 888-525-REDY. 888-525-READY.
I used to work for the insurance companies. I saw their delays, excuses, and lowball offers. Every time someone got hurt, I realized this system wasn't built for you. It never will be. So now I fight for the injured, for the people the system tries to ignore, for those the insurance companies hope will take whatever they're offered. At Sam & Ash, we make sure you get what you actually deserve. Call Sam & Ash Injury Law at 702-820-1234. Injury lawyers who win.
I've protected accident victims while flashy lawyers stack easy money and bullshit awards. I started a law firm that sets a new standard. At Sam & Ash Injury Law, we go to war against insurance companies to get you what's right. We protect you from greedy corporations and their careless clients. We force them to pay for what they've done. If you've been injured, visit samandashlaw.com. We fight, you win.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. The InventHelp data bank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
KMXP HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 1015 FM KDAWN.
Looking at the offer, I'm Roger Stern, Fox News. Iran has a new 14-point peace proposal, but President Trump is casting doubt over whether the U.S. will accept it. Fox's Madeline Rivera reporting from Washington.
Axios reports per sources the plan set a 1-month deadline for negotiations on a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and the U.S. naval blockade and permanently end the war in Iran and in Lebanon. Per the Iranian proposal, only after such a deal is reached, another month of negotiations would be launched to try and reach a deal on the nuclear program, the two sources said. The president doesn't sound too happy with that. He says on Truth Social, I will soon be reviewing the plan that Iran has just sent to the U.S., but can't imagine that it would be acceptable in that they have not yet paid a big enough price for what they have done to humanity and the world over the last 47 years.
The president is also threatening more strikes if Iran's leaders misbehave. Iran continues to refuse to give up control of the Strait of Hormuz. Many air passengers confused and worried about their travel plans now that Spirit Airlines ceased operations yesterday. Fox 2's Scott Wolchuk has the latest from Detroit's Metro Airport.
A frustration felt by thousands of travelers after Spirit could not secure a financial bailout. After 34 years in business, the budget airline is no more. David Fishman with Cadillac Travel says the writing was on the wall for Spirit. A failed merger, financial woes, and rising oil prices sealed the company's fate.
During the fallout of Spirit Airlines, you've got other airlines that are stepping up to help people. A lot of them are offering special rates for customers that had flights booked between May 2nd and the 16th. We've got a lot of information about that on fox2detroit.com. Reporting in Romulus, Scott Walchek, Fox News.
America is listening to Fox News.
You never know who might be taking the quiz.
Hi, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, your personal astrophysicist.
Hey everyone, it's Phil Sims.
Hey everyone, it's Danica McKellar. It's Candace Bushnell.
I'm Jeremiah Brown.
Hey everyone, I'm Kix Brooks. I'm John Taffer.
I'm Jennifer Eden.
Everybody's Kevin Nealon.
It's Mr. Wonderful here, and it's time to take the quiz. 5 questions in less than 5 minutes every day. Listen and follow at thequiz.fox.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Your back-to-back Los Angeles Dodgers baseball is coming up this morning at 10.
You're kidding.
And the talk you love is always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartMedia, or TuneIn apps. Just search for KDAWN in Las Vegas.
Hi, I have a question for Boy Mom, so if you're not boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And we are back for hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Also streaming on that Odyssey app, AUDACY. Get that right now. You get to hear all the great shows on KDAWN, including this one, the Steve Sanchez Show, one I produced during the week here on KDAWN, all the great Fox programming, and so much more, plus 220 stations. That's not bad. So make sure you get that Odyssey app right now. You'll be glad you did. You'll be hanging up on the skyline with Coach Rosey. It'll be great. And, of course, we are also live streaming on YouTube, X, and Facebook. So make sure you check us out on there. Hop in that live stream. Fire questions. We're going to be hitting that chat box pretty hard later on in this hour. Coach, Eric, I got to tell you, I am so thrilled to have this guy on the show. Can you hear my excitement?
Yes.
Because not only does he cover pro wrestling, covers all the sports for Fox. He is their digital sports team leader over there. From Fox News, Sports, and Outkick. Let's bring him in here right now. Got to meet him at WrestleMania. Thrilled to have him on the show. Ryan Gatiss. Ryan, what's up, big man? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, guys? I'm missing Vegas so much. I have seriously
a lot of FOMO. I was in Atlantic City over the weekend, and it makes me miss Las Vegas 3 times more. So I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Where do you live at, Ryan?
I'm in Jersey. I'm in the dead center. There is a central Jersey for those if you still have to debate your friends, but there is a central Jersey. I live right in the dead center of it, not too far away from New York, not too far away from Philadelphia. Yeah.
Well, by the way, the Philly area's got to be a little bit excited. I am a Flyers fan. I am a Sixers fan. And within 1 week, the evil Penguins and those scrubby little Celtics are out.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot to cheer about. Definitely.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. That put me in a very good mood yesterday, by the way. Well, first, you were talking about Vegas, and the first thing that I want to ask you about is a lot of people are critical about coming back to Vegas a second time, and we've been hearing all the negatives about being in Las Vegas. A lot of positives too, and we live here, so we know what's up. What did you think about just the overall situation with WrestleMania being in Las Vegas this year? Do you think it went all right? What were your thoughts?
I think overall it went all right. I mean, I think Las Vegas offers a lot of options for everybody who comes into town, whether you're in a pro wrestling promotion or you're just a fan or you just like to come to Las Vegas to just sightsee. I think it offers a lot of things. I know people like variety and like to be in different cities and offer people more. So I understand that part. But for me personally, I love Las Vegas. I love being able to go up and down the Strip and into Fremont Street, into downtown, and to see all kinds of different wrestling shows or what have you. It felt like Super Bowl week, all over again. I think there's a lot of pros overall. I think, in my opinion, more pros than cons.
Well, we're now hearing that Nashville has put in a bid, and I find this intriguing with the amount that they have put up. Now, Vegas this time around paid $6 million plus $4.3 million in tax credits, and Nashville is putting up $3.5 million plus tax breaks. For those people out there that didn't understand why they came back to Vegas a second time, there's a lot of the main reason right there. But Nashville, new stadium could be opening up. Think it's going to work out that we're going to see it in Nashville, or is there may be some other bidders out there, I would imagine?
I think Nashville is a very good spot to have it, especially once that brand spanking new stadium gets built. I mean, the way I went to one show at the Bazaar Bar in Las Vegas, and it was a nice, intimate scene. I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't create something similar in any of the Nashville bars downtown or wherever.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating. And, the boys from WWE are hinting about, wait till you see what we're doing. I don't know, Ryan, that scares me a little bit. It really does.
Hey, it has to be scary in like a good way, right? I don't think they've ever been to Tennessee for an event like that. I think anything new, I think fans will definitely get excited about, especially if it does happen and they're coming back from Saudi and from WrestleMania 43 into 44. I think it could be a lot of fun.
Are you going to try to go to Saudi, by the way?
I'm going to try, but I honestly don't think it would happen. Just a lot of other things to kind of do.
Fair enough. Well, we got the news today, and you and I were talking a little bit about it this morning. The New Day leaving WWE, and I just first the overall reaction to hearing that those two guys are no longer going to be performing for World Wrestling Entertainment. What did you think when you saw that?
I think I was like everybody else, just kind of stunned, shocked. You think guys like Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods would just be forever mainstays in WWE, given everything that they've accomplished. But given the reporting, I could see why that they've decided to move on. And if that's the case, then there's a plethora of options for them to go through. If this really is the end and the end of the day, I guess you would say.
Just for fun, put your Booker hat on for a second. Where would you like to see them go, and what possibilities went through your mind when you saw they're out?
I think the obvious thing is AEW. I think that's probably the natural landing spot for them. But before they even get there, I mean, would love to see them in New Japan, or maybe even some of the smaller promotions around here, and NWA, TNA. I think the options are endless for guys like that. They're surefire Hall of Famers. They're legends in their own respect. Arguably, one of the greatest tag teams of my generation, at least. I would. There's so many good things that could come with a release like this. It's definitely not the end for them, and I think they're going to have a pretty successful second win here if they choose to go somewhere else.
Okay, and before I throw it to the other guys, let me dig a little deeper on these releases and these requests to have their people's contracts reduced, because apparently Roman Reigns got a discussion too and was asked to have his pay cut done, and the big dog has apparently responded by, well, you know what, he's not doing any dates in June that he was going to do. From the business side of this, and you see it from all sports, where guys are asked to have their contracts reduced a little bit and so on. What's your reaction when you start hearing that and thinking about other performers in WWE, that if they're willing to go to Roman Reigns and say, look, we need to take a pay cut, all hell's going to break loose here soon, I think, Ryan. I really do.
I think if you put it into like the pro sports type of, I guess, scenario, Tom Brady was never really the highest paid player on the Patriots, and the Patriots won, 6 Super Bowl titles with that. I think Roman Reigns knows like what's best for business. And also, there was reporting before WrestleMania about how WWE maybe wanted to draw up some theories and storylines around his upcoming contract. So that might not be too far-fetched to think about what's going on here. I can't, honestly, other than a movie screen, I can't really see Roman Reigns outside the WWE landscape.
And real quick too, with Jacob Fatu getting involved in this and all this going on, is there any chance that Jacob Fatu at Backlash ends up winning the World Championship?
In pro wrestling, never say never, right? You never know what's going to happen. I think there's always a 50-50 chance. I think that's the beauty of it. My prediction, I don't think so, but you really never know.
All right, Coach, I have a question for Ryan.
Ryan, how do you see pro sports trickling in to professional wrestling? With the NBA, with the NFL and Major League Baseball, do you ever see, besides just the partnership with the belts and so forth, do you ever see where our favorite pro sports teams kind of mingle into professional wrestling, or is that just something that might be something that they wouldn't want to get involved with?
I think, Coach, I think there's always a good chance. I think you see it more and more now than ever. I mean, Cam Scadaboo on my Giants, got into
I'm a Sun Devil, so thank you.
Yeah, you got it. He got into a little skirmish. I know there was a bunch of backlash, like on social media and among Giants fans about all that. Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton had that angle before, I think, a year before Halliburton got hurt. I think it's fun to see like who is really a fan of pro wrestling, because for so long it seemed like such a taboo thing. If you said you like pro wrestling, you get a side eye. And I think the more angles that they do with professional sports leagues, I think it just proves that there's a global appeal to this more than any of us really understand. And I could definitely see more than just partnerships, especially in these summer months where we're going to go through WWE's coming up on a European tour. You never know of a soccer player or another boxing star. And I think the crossover appeal with TKO too, with stuff of boxing and UFC. These guys are global superstars, probably more appeal than in the United States. And I think it's always a possibility for that to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of that.
Please, no soccer players. No soccer players.
Well, it's the World Cup coming up, Mark. You got to get excited for that, man.
No, I don't.
Mark loves. Mark just loves soccer.
I love soccer. It's the greatest sport on the planet. Oh, jeez. Eric, what do you got?
I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of what Coach said. Who do you think from the sports world could potentially join WWE after their career is over?
After their career is over, I mean, I think I always just had an inkling maybe it could be Tom Brady, and only in the summer months because he's prepping hard for doing his Fox Sports broadcast. There you go. Brady was a Niners fan, so you never know. Kittle could also be that guy too. I think I asked Brady before WrestleMania 41 if he was going to show up at Allegiant Stadium. He gave sort of like wait and see type of thing, but I don't think he ever did. And with Logan Paul now, those two going back and forth, it's a natural angle for them to do it now if they were to pull the trigger on that. For Kittle, he's a huge Penta fan, right? And he's been adamant about that. He's already gotten involved clotheslining The Miz at WrestleMania 39. He's always on the sideline. I think those two would be a natural fit. Maybe Brady more as like a talker type manager type, but Kittle maybe in the ring. I could see that for sure.
That would be interesting. I want to talk about the AI comments that got made this week by WWE. And one of our chat box people, Javon Campbell, 8357, said, I heard the other day WWE is utilizing AI to make some decisions, including creative. I have suspected something was behind some stupid decisions. That's an interesting comment, but you can see where you could utilize AI to maybe collect data and catch some ideas or see some trends that maybe you wouldn't see on your own. But then taking it into the creative, I don't know if they're sitting there saying, hey, what storyline should we make for LA Knight? But there is validity to using AI in pro wrestling. Ryan, what did you think when you heard about that?
I think there's an absolute interesting case to use AI in all these different kinds of aspects. I mean, maybe not necessarily asking ChatGPT to build a storyline or ask Claude what he thinks about this and that. But I think if there's ways to mix data and to see what works and what doesn't. Everybody follows the ratings extremely closely, and if WWE is bouncing AI off AI, I think it's just another resource to use at your disposal. Sometimes humans make mistakes, and AI certainly does too. But I think there's always a way to utilize AI, even in ways we're probably not even thinking about. I mean, look at the way that WWE kind of used augmented reality type of entrances with Roman Reigns. I mean, whatever WWE is doing with AI, we certainly probably don't know the full story about it. And I think there's always ways to incorporate data types with what you're doing and how you're kind of leveraging the audience in that way.
And we're on with Ryan Gatos here on the Mark Hoke Show from Fox News Sports and Outkick. How much do you guys use AI over there? I'm just curious. I mean, you do oversee all the digital stuff for sports. How much is that integrated into your career?
AI has been used as it's a resource and not a source. I don't like to make typos, and if it's a 15th set of eyes on my story, then I'm all for it. I'm not utilizing AI to give me paragraphs and paragraphs on writing and trying to change everything, but I'm definitely trying to cut down on my typos, that's for sure. And using AI is extremely helpful.
Have you heard anything about this situation with CM Punk and this 911 call that TMZ reported, by the way?
Ooh, yeah.
We had a lot of bad fan behavior down here in Las Vegas.
Terrible.
MGM, not the best place to host the wrestlers, that is for sure. But this one's saying Punk got a little physical, and we already heard about the one where he slapped the phone out of somebody's hand, and that one to a point deserved. The fan was harassing his wife and Bailey, but this could be getting a little more serious, don't you think?
Yeah, there's definitely, I would say probably really a little more to the story probably than what the 911 call kind of suggests. But I would say I stayed at the MGM Grand during that week, and it was definitely a mob scene. I could see why if you're a superstar professional wrestler who craves their privacy. One, like you said, MGM Grand isn't it's not behooved to do that since everything's kind of out in the open. But I could see, if somebody is kind of harassing you and your wife and you tell them no 3, 4, 5 times, and you get annoyed, sometimes you got to kind of take matters into your own hands, and it stinks that the way it has to be. But as we know from what Rhea Ripley has said in the past, and other wrestlers have said, fans can get a little overzealous and cross a boundary. And with CM Punk, I wouldn't want to cross the boundary with him. That's for sure.
No, Phil is salty as we all know. So, hey, let's take a break. And when we come back, I've got Eric Kay, Coach Rosey, and Ryan Gatos from Fox News Sports and Outkick joining us here on the show. Man, Ryan, this is awesome. I'm so glad you got to come on today. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I'm having a blast.
All right. Stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show as we'll keep talking pro wrestling, all these crazy releases and some other very interesting stories coming up. Is Danhausen getting old already? Is he getting old? We'll talk to Ryan about that a lot more when we return.
You're pregnant, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope, and there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Risa can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them. At Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii. 1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we're back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM. The talk of Las Vegas. Home of many Fox shows, by the way. Of course, Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and we're loaded up. So very fitting that we have Ryan Gatos from Fox News Sports and Outkick joining us on the show. That's you handle a lot of stuff over there, dude. You're a busy man.
Yes, sir. We have a pretty stacked team. Try to fit in where I can, but we're chugging along. We're doing really well.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, you got a great brand there, of course. By the way, a couple comments in the chat box. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I didn't forget about him. Tube-Man 316 chat box says Nashville deserves a WrestleMania. Yeah, well, so does Poughkeepsie, but we'll see. We'll see. But Nashville, great city. It really is. So we'll see how that turns out. Javon Campbell, 8357 on our discussion about the security at MGM. The mansion at MGM is secure, as well as the Conrad or the Tower Suites at Aria. Places with separate gate access would have been a better fit for WrestleMania talent. What do you think of that, Ryan? I would agree with that 100%.
I agree on the front, but as you probably know, the mansions at MGM are a little small. I think there's only about 5 rooms in there. I mean, in hindsight, right? Like MGM having it there, you kind of want it there because it's right next to Legion Stadium. Whereas Fontainebleau last year was a little bit off the beaten path, I would say. But who knew? Like there were so many people there all weekend, and there was a lot of talent there, and a lot of people signing autographs and stuff like that. But I think the overzealous person who may have indulged in Las Vegas a little bit too much probably crossed the line or two.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I was listening to Tom Lawler the other day saying that he thought maybe they should have gone up to Red Rock or one of the station casinos or something like that. Red Rock would have been a good spot. I mean, I know it's a little bit far away from the stadium, but you hop on 215. It's about 20, 25 minutes. But of course, Tom's a wrestler, so he knows a little bit about that security. And last one I hit here, Javon Campbell, 8357, talking about us getting bots for the show. He says, "Little Jimmy Hoke bots coming. What you gonna do when Hulkamania bot runs all over you?" I'm okay with that. I think we should start leaning into the. I've been trying to stay away from Hulkamania stuff just in deference to Mr. Hogan, but maybe we should just go with it. What do you think, Coach? Should we call our fans Hulkamaniacs?
Maybe you want to steer clear from that. Is just maybe for a couple more years until the love for the Hulkster comes back to where it belongs.
Fair enough. Coach, you had a question for Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, we all love professional wrestling, but if I was sitting next to you and we were both 10 or 12 years old, chopping it up, watching Monday Night Raw or some show like that, who would little Ryan be rooting for, and who do you still pop for? Maybe not outwardly, but inside when you've had the opportunity to interact. Like I work for the Hardys in the meet and greets and all that, and every time I see him, little Josh, has a moment until I kind of get myself back together. But who are those guys for you, or women?
I think, Coach, if we were watching Monday Night Raw, my mom would probably come in and change the channel on me because I wasn't allowed to watch Monday Night Raw back in the 12-year-old Ryan was barred from doing that. I was a WCW guy through and through. So in those terms, I mean, I'm probably in the minority here, but I was a big Goldberg fan back then. I love Goldberg. And then Sting. I mean, Sting was in AEW and TNA, and those moments were really great. And honestly, Jersey guy himself, Diamond Dallas Page. I love the Diamond Cutter. I love the stuff he did with Jeff Jarrett. The Kimberly turn at one of the pay-per-views back then. I was a big WCW guy. So when those guys appeared in WWE eventually, even though those runs, arguably probably weren't that great, but still pop for them, still got a lot of love for them. Though those were a few of my favorites.
Very cool.
It's good to see that you love WCW. That's always my number one. I always just go the default to WWE, but Nitro was a special time.
Absolutely.
Eric, do you have a question? If you didn't, let me know. I'll come back to you. It's all right. Let me ask you this, Ryan. And with some of these cuts that are happening and the amount of talent that's coming up from NXT, should the veterans of WWE be a little nervous? Should they be kind of sitting around saying, "Oh man, we might have to be looking elsewhere at some point"?
I wouldn't say nervous per se. I think overall the WWE roster from top to bottom is stacked, like really top heavy, loaded with stars who are transcending pro wrestling itself. You see with Seth Rollins on NFL Network every week. But I think, there was a time maybe a couple years ago, Triple H kind of said it best, where it's like, if you want to get onto the Mania card, you kind of have to show up and show out and, prove that you deserve a spot. And I think now with everybody's just a general person's attention span so short, and they want to draw more and more eyes to all these shows and everything that they're doing, you kind of have to, prove yourself that you want to be there. It's a kick in the butt. I think a lot of people could use, and to either make themselves better or even, like you said, possibly look elsewhere. But I think it's a good thing. I think it should be a warning. It should be, a way to get people moving back into the space where WWE wants to be. For so long, WWE never had any real competition, and AEW has proven, at least over the last year, they're hotter than ever. And I think you look at that, and you look in terms of where people have been criticizing WWE. I think everybody should kind of be on notice.
Eric, what you got?
So to take off of that, if you could put your Booker hat on, WrestleMania next year, what do you have for a card?
Ooh,
man, that's tough.
Oh, that's a long way off.
I think everybody wants Rock and Roman. I think that's the thing, and I think it'd be perfect for Saudi Arabia to kick off, a premium event like WrestleMania to have it. And I think that's the dream, at least in my mind. I would also like Cody, CM Punk to headline Mania. I think that's kind of like the natural thing where things are going towards. I think there's a lot of ways. I mean, you could go on and fully turn Cody heel, and if he's the corporate guy, then you have the corporate guy versus the fan favorite, and as the headliner of WrestleMania. And if that's the trajectory that it feels like we're going in, then I think that would be perfect night 2 main event right there.
Yeah, they did lay the groundwork for that right around WrestleMania there to set those two up. That would be fascinating. Now I want to talk about Danhausen. All right. And look, I am a huge Danhausen guy. I love Danhausen, and I think what he's done on the independent circuit and so far in WWE, it's been a lot of fun and a stunning run for him with merchandise and everything else. But I got to tell you, like the cross towers of pyro taking 2 guys out, and and I was cheering the Miz on, by the way. Way to go, Miz and Kit, taking that Punk Danhausen down. But it was funny that Dave Meltzer actually kind of echoed the same thing that I had said was, will this get old? Are people going to get tired of seeing Danhausen in a little card? Something happens, Danhausen curses somebody, and off we go. How long can they carry that, Ryan?
I think they're going to push it as long as merchandise sales he's in the top 3 right after WrestleMania. So as long as he stays in the top 10, I think they're going to push it as hard as they can. And I think the funny thing with Danhausen is that he brings in such a new audience that you wouldn't even think about, right? So my wife has never watched WrestleMania all through it, right? I'll make her watch SmackDown once in a while or Monday Night Raw. But I told her, watch WrestleMania this year. It'll be fun. So she turns on night 2 and falls in love with Danhausen. And just out of the blue. Who is this guy? What's crazy? She likes the gothic vampiric vibes of Danhausen.
Yeah,
and
that's
I think
a chick thing. Yeah.
If she can get turned into a Danhausen fan, I mean, anybody could be turned into a Danhausen fan. So I think they're gonna ride this until they really run out of gas.
All right, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think they will ride it till it runs out of gas. I'm just curious how long it's going to take. Coach, you had a question?
Yeah, NIL. I've been a high school varsity basketball coach for 29 years, and it's already trickling down to us. When a freshman wants to come into our school, they're asking about, do we know this, that, and the other about NIL? But it's also come into the world of professional wrestling with the deals that WWE is making with some of these college athletes. Where do you see the future of NIL and professional wrestling?
Ooh, good question, Coach. I don't. It's so interesting to see how many college athletes have come into WWE and give it really a legitimate shot. I think you've seen some of the talent, like Trick Williams, like seeing it work, and I think as long as there are wrestlers and superstars who WWE can point to and say, "Hey, look at who we built with hard work and dedication and passion." I think you can point to those guys and be like, "This could be you." And as long as WWE NIL continues as a program, I think you're going to see more and more of it. And I think people like Jada Parker or like Kalani Jordan, who don't have a professional sports outlet to go to in the next stage of their careers, I think WWE professional wrestling is a perfect landing spot for those types of people. It's different now with the volleyball players, because I think there's men's and women's professional leagues now. But for those leagues that don't have another professional route other than, say, the Olympics, I think it's perfect. And I think you could point to the stars that they're making now and say, "Hey, look, this works." And if you want to be a star and you think you have star power in the making, try us, and we'll take it as far as it goes.
When it comes to the NIL, I'm kind of naive when it comes to wrestling. What is involved with an NIL deal for a college student with the WWE? Or do they have to go to WWE? Is it just like a promise? Is it hoping you come there? Or how are those, in a nutshell, how are those deals structured?
I'm not too familiar with the ins and outs of it, Coach. But from just guessing from who's come up and who's appeared on screen, I think they have to at least like work out and try in the Performance Center. I know in the case of like the Cavender twins that they've had given it a try. I don't know if it's exactly worked out for them, but I think they take the WWE route, and for people who are still in college, I think they still have the option, if they want to continue their NCAA eligibility, they could go and do that. As far as contracts or anything like that, I'm not too familiar. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, and one person, we just had Kendall Gray on the show last week, who has just been blowing everybody out of the water, and she was part of that. She got an NIL, and they managed to pull her in there instead of pursuing her Olympic dreams. And boy, she is something else, isn't she, Ryan?
Oh yeah, everybody who I've talked to, whether it's Booker T or some other people, I forgot off the top of my head, but Booker T especially, really high on Kendall Green, really high on Kelly Armstrong as well. Kendall Gray, I think Meltzer said that she has the potential to be the greatest women's wrestler of all time, and I think all signs so far point to that. She's been really great.
She's a sweetheart, by the way. I don't know if you ever got to interview, but what a nice person she is.
I know, she's on my list. I have a list of people who I want to interview. She's definitely on there.
When you guys are doing coverage of Fox, and I find it entertaining over the past couple of years that, like you said, pro wrestling, sometimes you get the old side eye, you're a fan of that, but it has absolutely exploded on every sports network, websites all over the place. You guys are covering in Fox. How much emphasis do you put on that pro wrestling coverage? And like, how many people are, reading that stuff? I'm just curious.
I would say I'll give you just ballpark thousands. It's really interesting to see the pro wrestling audience grow over the last few years. And now my efforts, I'm trying to go as all in as I can with it. And you see it as an addition to what we're doing, at the NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, all those things are hot. The way I see it, pro wrestling is a new audience for major networks and news sites like ours to really tap in and to maybe give wrestling fans a different perspective on the industry, and maybe make them fans of wrestlers that they never knew existed. And I think being able to provide an outlet like that is very interesting, and if it helps grow my audience, that's a huge plus too.
What do you think was the tipping point? I mean, where did it come from that all of a sudden said we've got to hit this stuff?
I think on my end, I'm a very unabashed pro wrestling fan. So I just asked if I could dip my whole foot in the water instead of just my toes. And, my bosses were gracious enough to allow me to kind of run with what I wanted to do. And so far it's been pretty good.
Yeah, it fascinates me, especially somebody who's been watching pro wrestling for 40 some years, as I hate to age myself, but I did, that I never would have thought that mainstream news outlets would be covering pro wrestling. I just never thought. You'd occasionally see an article in the newspaper, and here's some results of what happened at Hershey Park Arena. But other than that, it's still shocking to me sometimes. It really is, but I love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's definitely a new world, and I think with ESPN going all in, I think that's a major thing too. I think all these superstars have crossover appeal as well. John Cena is a big movie star. The Rock, obviously a huge movie star. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes doing different movies as well. You have Liv Morgan in a movie and a music video. I think just that adds to it. Just everybody at heart is probably a little bit of a pro wrestling fan. They just don't want to say it. That's why I think.
Who at Fox News is a pro wrestling fan?
Oh man, Mike,
out somebody, do it.
Well, he's not a pro wrestling fan, but we have Tyrus. We have the official Tyrus podcast on Fox News. I think he was at Outkick, and now we're doing a Fox News podcast with him. You also saw, I'm sure you saw Abby Hornacek take a almost like a German suplex type from Kennedy Blades, and we have Real American Freestyle streamed only exclusively on Fox Nation. That's an Eric Bischoff and Chad Bronstein thing, and that's been doing really well as well.
And Jimmy Phil is still a fan. Ryan, next WrestleMania, we got to get Jimmy to WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We have to do it. He loves pro wrestling, but he's been out of it for a little bit, so we got to drag him down there.
Oh yeah, 100%, definitely,
absolutely. Well, Ryan, hey, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. It was awesome, and I know I got a hold of you really early this morning, so I do appreciate taking the time out. Tell everybody a little about where they can find you and about what you're doing over at Fox.
Sure. So we're in the middle of pro wrestling season. We got Backlash coming up. I know AEW Double or Nothing is coming up, and I plan to be all over that as much as I can. You can find my work anywhere on foxnews.com. You search my name, Ryan Gatos. You can catch me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Just search my name on YouTube too, TikTok, whatever, wherever the social media channels are, you'll find me. Thank you for having me. This is great. This is my first real wrestling appearance on any radio shows, so thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, we'll have you back, man.
Definitely. Hey,
no
anytime.
Doubt. Fantastic. All right, guys, we're gonna hit a break. Ryan, thank you so much. Ryan Gatos joining us on the Mark Hoke Show. Everybody, make sure you check all his work out at Fox News. And look, we got an ally in the news industry. That's your guy right there, Ryan Gatos. Ryan, thanks again. We'll be back with more on the Mark Hoke Show. Eric Hay, Coach Rosey, and myself, Mark Hoke, here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We'll be right back.
Brake light on? Hearing a strange noise? Head to Meineke. Our certified technicians handle brakes, tires, engine repairs, and oil changes fast and honest. Every visit includes a free digital e-inspection with photos and videos so you know exactly what your car needs. And with Fix Now, Pay Later financing, you can get repairs done on a payment plan that fits your budget. Schedule now at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke, doing car care right.
Get your booth at the Vegas Chambers Business Expo on June 24th. Business Expo attracts more than 1,000 attendees and will give you an opportunity to showcase your products and services. Don't miss out on an afternoon of exciting discovery at our mega networking event. Reserve your booth today. Meet and greet with local businesses and expand your network at the expo. Visit vegaschamber.com/events for more information. Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's time to spring into deals at Lowe's. Freshen up your yard with Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch. 5 bags for $10. Then get what you need to keep clothes, food, and dishes fresh with up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on select laundry repairs. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub to shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. This special offer is only available by calling 800-208-8750. That's 800-208-8750.
Paid for by Bath Concepts Industries.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, we the ones. Put your fingers up. Acknowledge us, Las Vegas, and around the planet. Go on, Coach. Put that finger up.
It's up. It's in cyberspace. Here it is.
And there you. Yeah, it kind of disappears in the.
Yep.
Live stream backdrop there, but man, we were having a great time. Thanks to Ryan Gatos for joining us. What a great guy.
Yes.
What a great guy. But you know, it is fascinating to me how pro wrestling managed to actually crack the mainstream. And I don't know if it was just part of it was just, you know, money and everything like that. But did you guys ever think that you would see pro wrestling back on ESPN? Or them covering it all the way they used to treat it? I mean, that was like, ew, that thing in the corner. No, we're not talking about that. And now all of a sudden, you know, ESPN's making massive deals with WWE. I mean, that's pretty incredible, Coach, when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. From going from the Showboat Casino with AWA on ESPN back in the 80s to news media people getting assaulted by wrestlers, getting choked out, getting hit in the face, and them just running salacious stories about the drug abuse and the steroid scandal, to finally embracing what we love. You know, we know professional wrestling is a sport. It might not be a sport under the traditional rules of what a sport is, but now I think people see professional wrestling as a pop culture event. And especially guys in our age group, even down to the 30s, we're always searching for that nostalgia. And I think the news media has tapped into that. Sports Illustrated now has the takedown. John Alba does a great job of writing stuff for them. Fox has coverage. Obviously, ESPN now is the major player in the game, and it's only going to continue. I like to see that the internet wrestling community guys like Sean Ross Sapp and Melsener and Conrad and those type of guys latch on with the mainstream media, so the internet wrestling community can get a little bit more validity. Because right now, those guys in the media, in our wrestling media, don't have the same respect as the guys that are on Fox and Sports Illustrated and ESPN. They work just as hard, but they need the same authenticity and validity. And that's what the mainstream media will give our great sport.
Yeah, it is amazing to me when I really do think about it. But yeah, we have a lot of hard workers out there too, and that have been in the industry and doing it for a long time. You mentioned a few of them, and you know, and like SI has a great team over there. You know, Matt Black's over there now, and Ricky Chino, and you mentioned John and so many others. You know, the guys over at bodyslam.net do a great job. And of course, Wrestling Observer. I mean, there's a ton of people out there I could, you know, that I know, and I could sit here all day going through it. But Eric, it is amazing just how mainstream it's gone. And, you know, people, I don't think people realized how much pro wrestling penetrated pop culture. You know, you know, opening a can of whoop ass and, you know, all the Roman Reigns stuff that, you know, everybody woos all the time. You know, it's incredible when I think about it back in the day where it was like, You're a pro wrestling fan. I am too, man. I like it too. Are you going to the arena for the show? Yeah, man. It's not like that anymore.
No, you're right. It's not. I mean, I was a kid on the block outside, and I'd say, "Hey, I like wrestling," and either
punch you?
it was all cool, or you get the look like, "What's wrong with you, kid?" And I mean, look how much it's transcended, not just individuals, the whole business. Back in the day, you had Hogan, you had Austin, The Rock, Cena. Now everybody, the whole entire business is transcending, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I too sweeted some guy at the at a store the other day. He's wearing an NWO shirt, and I popped it up real quick for him. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we're very lucky to be involved in this industry. That is for sure. Oh, but man, this week, look, one thing. Oh, I wanted to. That's right. That's what I want to mention. MJF. We haven't talked about AEW very much on the show today, but MJF took that loss to Kevin Knight, who is defending the TNT title. Coach, they keep giving everybody in AEW a chance to elevate. I mean, that puts Kevin Knight on world championship level to a point. Fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff coming out of AEW, how they've balanced that roster out.
Yeah, and it was great to see a blurring of the lines with the babyface using heel tactics to get the job done. I love to see the tables turned on MJF and him playing the victim to the referee. Hey, what's going on here? And that's something we don't see very often. And Tony's willing to take a chance on writing storylines, and the whole stuff with Ospreay now going over with Moxley's crew. That's going to be tremendous. He's going to be a lethal weapon. I cannot wait for that storyline. And there's a lot to be looking forward to in AEW. The whole Cope FTR storyline is great. The women's matches are tremendous. So, I mean, if it came down to somebody said, hey, I got 2 sets of tickets, would you rather go to Double or Nothing or Backlash? Without a shadow of a doubt, I would choose going to Double or Nothing. Yeah,
and we've got Backlash coming up here. I can't believe it's already on Saturday. That's nuts. And this is Eric. This is a good card, man. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Io Sky and Asuka, Roman and Jacob, Trick and Sammy. And by the way, rest in peace, Gingerbread Man. I felt terrible. I'm sorry, but I love when Trick threw the X up for the Gingerbread Man. And for those of you that don't know what that means, if a referee or somebody on staff signals an X, that means there's a legitimate injury. So the Gingerbread Man, and he did not survive. And we got Danhausen getting a mystery partner against the Miz and Kit Wilson. Like a couple more matches, but this isn't bad. This is a pretty fun show.
It's a low-key good card, and the main event will be very interesting because you don't know who else will be involved.
I'm almost wondering, and look, I've been thinking about this with Jacob Fatu. Do you switch the belt? Do you do it? Given what just happened with this whole thing with them asking Roman Reigns to take a pay cut and dropping dates, do you guys think that they could actually be setting up for Jacob Fatu to win the world championship? I mean, he took the MTFs and just destroyed them. I think this card's got a little more intrigue than we expected.
Oh,
it's going to be a good match. Go ahead, Haymaker. Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, it does. And you and I are at the House of Glory show, Mark, that Thursday night. And in the section right next to us, there's someone very interesting who will be in Tampa that day.
Oh, little Zilla Fatu. Yeah, let's get some more Fatu action going there. By the way, in the chat, I got to finish up with this because this is great. Javon Campbell, 8357. It seems like Heartbreak Kit Wilson collaborated with Miz and Heel Hoke to sabotage Danhausen on SmackDown. You will be cursed again. Oh, man.
Don't curse me, please.
No.
Yeah, we're out of it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. I appreciate you bailing out on me.
I think the Eric Hay show has a ring to it. What do you say, Eric?
Yeah, I like it. Thank you.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Well, hopefully I won't be dead anytime soon though. But yeah. So
Just
thanks.
cursed. Not dead, just cursed.
No, I'm gonna curse him back. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna study up a little bit. And if Danhausen curses me, I curse him back. But he's a great guy. And like I said, I'm wondering how the act's gonna go in time, but he's a good dude. So that's gonna wrap it. Coach Rosey, Eric Hay, great show. Thanks, guys. Certainly do appreciate it. And we had an absolute blast with Ryan Gatos from Fox News Sports and Outkick. We're going to do this all again next week. I don't know if we're going to have as much news as we did the last time around, but we'll be reporting on Backlash and everything else. So thank you all for being with us today. We certainly appreciate it. We'll see you next week on the Mark Hoke Show.
See you later.
Good night.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.